Everybody, it's your boy Killer Panda here, and today we're reacting to a video, an older video by Stephanie Sue, Why I Am Scared of Nicocado Avocado. The reason why I'm watching this today is because um, the other day I was watching a video. They're talking about Mikado Avocado, and like it showed like the old videos of him where he's talking about his mental health and stuff like that. So I was like, well, dang, maybe I shouldn't have made that video that I did. Maybe I shouldn't have posted that video that I made the other day. Kind of poking fun and stuff, because maybe there's deeper things that I'm not aware of, because I've never watched a single one of his videos ever. I'm not into mukbangs. I don't watch. But then on TikTok, I saw this this thing talking about, I don't understand why everybody seems to care about his weight loss and this and that. And then it shows Stephanie Sue's video, Why I Am Scared of Nicado Avocado. So I'm like, wow, there's definitely a lot more to him than I thought there could be. I just thought he was just being a weirdo, but I guess there's more to it. There's deepness to the weirdness. So that's why we're watching this today. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Either one of those three things, whatever you want to do. And let me know what you guys think about this. Let's get into it.
Of sleep.
In and out of sleep.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
Whole Me Too movement.
Hashtag me too. Hi. So I haven't really posted on this channel in the past couple of days or my other channel, and I'm alive. The FBI didn't get me. I know some of you guys are worried, but I just kind of want to talk to you guys about what's been happening the past couple of days, because a lot has happened and it's been really stressful.
This was made 4 years ago, by the way. 4 years ago, she made this. Like I said, I don't know much about him, so I guess we're going to learn everything we need to know.
Stressful. The past couple of days have been filled with just a lot of manipulation, in particular manipulating my own words against me to make me do things that I don't want to do and I don't feel comfortable doing, and a lot of Nicocado Avocado using his platform to threaten me and to bully me. At this point, my home safety is kind of in question, so normally I wouldn't talk about stuff like this or make a video on it. I've been pretty vocal that a lot of things can just be solved offline, but because of how extreme things have gotten recently, I just want to share my side. I feel like I've been manipulated by fear that I can't say no to him. I just want to take back my power to say no. Not feel like someone's holding this thing over me and threatening me. I feel like in normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't share private text messages or private DMs, but because of his constant, just over and over again, twisting my words, I just feel like it's necessary, and I'm only going to be using conversations that have to do with this matter of my safety, my security, and the way that he's been threatening me. Before I get started into sharing everything that's happened, I just want to read to you guys some definitions, because I feel like I didn't know what was happening to me. And I wish I had known what the true definition of these things were, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I could have prevented it. Maybe I could have stood up to him. Maybe I could have said no. Maybe it wouldn't have gotten this far if I knew what was happening. So mental manipulation is...
Wow. So this is really... Wow. And you can tell she's... Wow. Let's... I'm not going to pause it too much. Let's see what she's saying. Yeah, this is definitely some serious stuff.
is when people seek to exploit things that are the foundation of relationships, such as trust, understanding, exploit things happening. So mental manipulation is when people seek to exploit things that are the foundation of relationships, such as trust, understanding, and mutual respect, in order to benefit themselves in some way. And some very easy ways that you can spot manipulation in terms of emotionally and mentally is, for one, they use your words against you to make you do something you don't want to do. Two is that they don't really care for how you're feeling. Three is that they make you feel guilty or ashamed. I'm going to leave some articles and videos in the description because
Yeah, I've definitely been through that myself. It's like a lot of us can relate to that. But when you're new to being presented with that, you don't know what to do, and you kind of gaslight yourself into thinking, maybe it's just me.
those helped me a lot. Maybe you might be experiencing something like it, so I'm just going to leave those linked below. So going back to the story, I feel like the story happened a year ago, which it happened with Shookbug and Veronica Wang, and I never thought I'd be talking about this online, but here I am. That was kind of when Nick and I had our first interactions on a personal level through Instagram DMs. We spoke about what happened. From his side, it was more of him trying to clarify how I was involved or if I was involved, and also he wanted me to make a video on my side of the story. I had told him that I wasn't involved. I don't think I need to make a video. It was just back and forth of that. Not too long after, he asked me if I wanted to collab with him. I remember specifically being transparent with him and letting him know I don't want to collab just because I feel like the drama is too fresh. I feel like me being in a video with him would just stir things up again, and so for all those reasons I was transparent and I said no. From then we still didn't really have much communication up until August. He came to Los Angeles and he had asked if I wanted to collab, and for other reasons I turned him down. Now at this point I was like, I still feel like I want to meet him in person. If he's in LA, I also felt like I turned down two collabs, like let's meet. So I had set up this dinner with me, Zach, and Nick at Hot Pot. Honestly, immediately going in, I was nervous. I definitely had a guard up because I was like, oh, anytime we've talked before, he's just been asking nonstop about Veronica. And so I even went in with this gift of like a bottle of champagne and these macaroons because I wanted him to know that like, hey, I didn't say no to you in your collabs because I don't like you, And so immediately when I met him, I could probably say that I was kind of taken aback by how comfortable he was. He just kept saying, like, yeah, that's online. You can trust me.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
Like, I'm not gonna say whatever you say online, that's online. And so I just felt like, oh, like, that makes sense. He even opened up to me first, which made me feel really good. I felt like, oh, wow, he trusts me. And so I started opening up, and obviously the conversation did lead to Shookbug and Veronica. And I feel like in any other
I don't know who any of those people are. So this might go even deeper than I thought. But let's keep going.
situation, I would never want to put this online, but because I feel like this is something that he's kind of holding over my head right now, kind of twisting my words, I just want to share with you some things that I shared with him, and it has nothing to do with Shookbug. And it is also another reason why I never made a video about this in the first place. Veronica and I have a very interesting relationship. She mentioned me in a video when I was so small, and she gave me a shout out, so that's kind of where our relationship started. And I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh, she gave me a shout out, and I just replayed that part where she said my name over and over again. I was like, oh my gosh. And she was always so encouraging. She always told me, you're doing amazing, like don't give up, like you're doing great, sweetie. I'm just kidding. And even though all that happened, when we first met in LA, when we filmed all of our collabs, that was the first time we met in person. And I could say that we have very different personalities. Let me tell you some of the things I told him, because I feel like I don't want them to get twisted. But she was dyeing her hair pink at the time. And that pink hair almost killed me. I was driving around town, like we were picking up hair dye. She canceled on a video because she wanted to dye her hair again. It was a lot. And these are things that I, like even now I'm like thinking, I was like, wow, that was annoying. And I'm sure she has things that she finds so annoying about me. But none of them had to do with Shukbang. None of them would clarify anything about Shukbang. It was just me and Veronica have weird personalities that maybe didn't match perfectly. I shared these little frustrations with him. It's nothing I would share online because I know how the internet works. I'm not gonna go and share every little frustration or annoyance that I have with every person. There was that conversation, and then a lot of it really was him opening up to me about his home life and Orland and Orland's tomatoes. We stayed at Hot Pot till 2 in the morning. We got kicked out like rebels. And at this point, we had been there for hours, and he had made me feel so comfortable, so comfortable. And like I could trust him, like he understood me. I ended up opening up about something that I don't even talk about on YouTube anymore. If you guys have been with me since the beginning, some of you may know, but I was sexually assaulted in my own home. It was somebody that I had let into my home, and then they took away my power to say no, and it's kind of just shattered any sort of security that I felt at home prior. And then after that, I left with a very warm feeling of just, hey, he's nice. We started continuing our friendship through text, and there's not much in there. It's just like regular personal life stuff. But some of the stuff that kind of have to do with what's happened is in October, he asked me, are you happy with your home? I low-key want that security system. And I told him that I was very happy. And then he texted me back that night saying, yeah, what's the name of your fancy security system? I'd like to research it. Ha ha ha. And at this point, I disclosed which security system I had.
Is he doing what I think he was doing? Oh my gosh. I heard you can like people, like someone knows the name of your security system. They can somehow get some sort of numbers or code or something. And they can hack right into your cameras and see everything you're doing. So if that's where this is leading to, that's insane.
But I also kind of told him like why I liked it. At this point, I felt like he was a friend and I wanted to give him whatever help he needed in terms of security. And then November 1st, he texted me asking if I was doing like this TV interview that was supposed to be about mukbang, and they had to reach out to me. And so I told him, hey,
Are you doing that interview? Hey, I was approached but turned it down. Are you doing it? I turned it down today too invasive of my home and potential safety issue. And the neighbors would have had a field day with the camera crew and trucks outside. But yeah, I didn't know what level paranoid I was at, so I feel better knowing I'm not alone. LOL. Okay. I'm trying to use my iPhone brain. Blue. So this is her texting him. Okay.
I was approached, but I turned it down. Are you doing it? And he said, I turned it down today too. Too invasive of my home and potential safety issue. And the neighbors would have a field day with the camera crew trucks outside. And then he said, but yeah, I didn't know what level paranoid I was at, so I feel better knowing I'm not alone, LOL. Like this moment, I really feel like cemented our friendship because I felt like there was this one common ground that we shared. There was this one thing that I feel like everyone's a little paranoid, but I feel like to the level where you are very paranoid about feeling safe and where most people feel the most safe. And he was telling me like, hey, you're not crazy. I thought I was crazy. We both feel the same way about it. And so it just really made me feel like we have this thing that we just can always talk to each other about. He texted me in November that he was going to be in December for a bunch of days to do a lot of collabs with other YouTubers, and he asked if I was interested in collabing. And this had been a really long time since Shukbang. And so I said, you know what, like we've developed a friendship. I've met you, I feel safe with you. You make me feel like I can trust you. Of course, like let's collab, it'll be fun. And the first collab was on Saturday, this past Saturday, and it was at my house. And so I gave him the address and I felt comfortable knowing that I could trust him to enter this place where I very rarely let people in now. And so Saturday he came over, and I want to say that Saturday, I didn't have any feelings of like alarm or anything like that. I think there was like moments where, oh, that was a little weird, but nothing crazy. It was nothing that made me feel unsafe, but there was some small things like later I'll get into, but Saturday went really well from what I knew Saturday. And then Sunday happened. I was originally supposed to meet Zach for breakfast, and then I was supposed to film with Nick for his channel. But we just kind of reworked the schedule. A lot of changes were made, and we all decided that we were going to film 3 videos, 3 collab videos with all 3 of us. So after breakfast, it would be me, Zach, and Nick for Zach's channel, so it'd be an ASMR video. And then the second video would be me, Nick, and Zach for Nick's channel, but it would be a mukbang, so Zach would just sit quietly and then me and Nick would talk. And then the third video would be on Nick's channel with all 3 of us, but this one would be more of an ASMR style video in Zach's house. It was a lot of filming and a lot of eating that day. And the first video went really well, and that was posted to Zach's channel, and that was the first video up. And then the second video came around. We were just kind of like spending some time together before we got hungry again. I just remember that before we filmed Nick's video, his first video, the talking mukbang, we were supposed to go to H Mart and then go back to his place so that we could film it. And we were in the car, and the topic of what we were going to talk about in the talking mukbang came up. And this is kind of when I first felt really uncomfortable, because Nick said it very assertively, we're going to talk about Veronica and we're going to spill all the tea. And I was kind of confused because I was like, oh, whoa, what? And so I was immediately like, no. And then he went, but why'd you tell me yesterday that you wanted to then? And so I thought back to what happened yesterday, and prior to filming my mukbang for my channel, he had mentioned, I think that we need to talk about shukbang because everyone's going to be talking about it in the comments. And I don't know why I believed it. I said, oh yeah, I guess it's weirder if we just act
Now looking back to
like it never happened.
Oh my gosh. What's happening?
Oh yeah.
I barely mentioned about Sherbeck.
Yeah, I guess it's weirder if we just act like it never happened. And so I felt like I was comfortable mentioning shukbang, addressing it to the capacity of me and Nick. Yes, this is how we met, through a shukbang video, but we have no ill will towards each other. It's all over, we're friends now, I felt like I would never tell him that I wanted to talk about Veronica and specifically spill the tea. It had always been about shukbang. Me and Veronica's relationship didn't involve Nick. And so I was just confused, and it got really awkward after I said, oh no, I don't mind addressing shukbang, but that's it. And he just got silent. And I couldn't help but feel like he was really upset by that. And so I just remember I was driving and I was like, this is so uncomfortable. Do I raise the music? Do I step on the pedal? What do I do? But I still felt like, okay, at least we cleared it up before the video. At least now he gets it. He's a little upset, at least the video won't be weird. Then we got to his place, we made the noodles. And there was a lot that happened because of that video, which we'll get into, such as footage I didn't know where I was being recorded and other things. But we started filming the noodle mukbang. We sat down, he was in the middle of us, and we started eating these nuclear noodles. And the first 30 minutes, honestly, they went amazing. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, that car ride was important, because we were honestly having a really, really good time for the first half. And then Nick brought up the conversation of shukbang, but he brought it up in a way, and I know that the full footage is not out there. He did it in a way, I don't remember his exact wording, but it was in a...
What did you want to share? Or do you change your mind now?
I just feel like...
You said you wanted to talk to your viewers with me here, because you never talked to any of your viewers. And
I just remember feeling just shocked. The time I tried to do that, increasingly, it seemed like he got more offended. He would look at me with such a shocked face. I can't believe, but you said you wanted to talk about it and now you don't? Almost how dare you? You said you wanted to talk about it. And I just remember I kept trying to put it off. I kept trying to show him I'm uncomfortable. I kept trying to lighten the mood with jokes and give all of us an out of this conversation without ending it awkwardly. But it was just rapid fire. And it increasingly went from shukbang, maybe the first 2 sentences, into Veronica. And then instead of asking me any more questions, he started twisting my words. And he started saying things like, if only you guys knew what she told me. I would never tell you guys what happened because she shared it with me in private. She trusts me with these things. But if you only knew.
When you sat down with me.
And I remember this one part where I freaked out because he said, she is such a strong woman to me. As if I had endured something so horrendous by Veronica. And I almost was like, shoot, do I say like, oh, whoa, it's not that serious. Like, all I did was go pick up hair dye with her, you know? But then that would defeat, like, I don't want to disclose all of this. I'm not comfortable with sharing this. This has nothing to do with anything. And I remember picking up a baby wipe and being like, I know, like, my life is so hard being a mukbanger. And, like, really trying to show him that, hey, I'm trying to get out of this conversation. Hey, I'm trying to get out of this conversation. And I did this pretty much almost every 2 sentences he gave. And increasingly, he looked at me with more and more shock on his face, as if he was shocked and angry at the fact that I refused to talk about what I told him in private. But you told me yesterday you wanted to talk about it. Then why did you say you wanted to talk about it? I guess she changed her mind. There was this one part where I had told him about how Veronica, she has really good audio. She likes to watch her audio, right? So if it peaks, I'm the queen of peaking. If it peaks, she'll know. So she's very cautious. And I just remember telling him, like, I was a little bit more cautious during her collabs on her channel because I was watching the audio peaks because I have a very high-pitched, loud voice. And he insinuated that, remember what you told me? This thing that she made you do where she'd put this, disgusting. As if it was something so horrendous that Veronica did to me. And at that moment, I freaked out. And again, I wanted to defend myself by sharing my story, which is, I think, what he wanted. But I just remember saying, oh my God, you make it sound like I was abused. It felt like he was putting words into my mouth. Yes, the situation is kind of there. Yes, there was a computer when I was filming. But no, it wasn't horrendous. No, it's not something that you should be disgusted by. Maybe annoyed, not disgusted. One of the reasons that I didn't want to make this video and I felt like I was crazy is because I know everyone's just going to be saying, Stephanie, you're a grown woman. Why didn't you just leave? Or tell him, hey, stop. At that point, like, I don't even know if I can describe to you the feelings because it's almost like any feeling that you had of this person at least has a mutual respect for me. It's not even friendship. It's not even trust. Those were long gone. But it's this person has somewhat of a mutual respect for me, my comfort, my consent to talk about things. It's just all gone. And so you just feel like you're not talking to the same person anymore. And he didn't care what I wanted to talk about. He didn't care how I felt. It went on for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Mine. Yeah. You know, you can understand why she's doing it that way because she doesn't want to.
And it just felt so personal.
Oh my God. Because she doesn't want to ruin the mood or whatever. But if things get to a certain point that you don't want it to get to, you got to just ruin the mood and, you know, say what's on your mind. That's obviously much easier said than done, especially when you're in that situation. But I like to think there being a third person there, I feel like that could have gave her that extra safety net to do that. But obviously, you know, I wasn't there and I'm not her, so I don't know, you know, how much pressure that could have been on her if she would have did that. But she's very strong for, you know, explaining her side of things. But yeah, he was trying to stir stuff up that just won't there. And I was just making things worse for her.
I was in this space at this point where I felt like anything will be used against me, and I felt like anything I say, even Nick's stop, he would use it and make an exposing video or threaten me with it. I don't know. I was just scared. Whoever I knew wasn't here anymore. I just felt like it wasn't the same Nick I knew. He knew that I was uncomfortable. He knew I didn't want to talk about this, but he kept going. And so at what point does my uncomfort or does my feeling even matter to him? And so the video.
And yeah, that's yeah, that's the reason why she didn't say anything there. So yeah, it's tough. It's very tough.
Video ends, and I just feel really, really weird. I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's not just scared, but it's also like almost like ashamed, like, wow, I made him mad because I changed my mind. Did I change my mind? But I never had the mind to talk about Veronica. All I know is I was incredibly shaken up. And I just remember, like, I didn't want to be in close proximity with him, and I was just kind of like standing off to the side, and I didn't want to say anything but, oh, I'm so nervous. Like, I don't know what to do. Oh man, like, I wish I didn't say that. I'm so nervous, because I felt like if I said I'm uncomfortable or I'm scared or why did you do that, he would just get more and more increasingly angry with me. I had this feeling of I just need to do whatever I can to get through tonight and tomorrow, because we have collabs scheduled tomorrow, and just be done with it, because I don't want him to get angry. I don't want him to make a video using these words and trying to say all these things I said about Veronica. I just wanted to get through tonight. And that sounds crazy even to me. Like, me saying that right now, I sound crazy. Stephanie, you are 24. You should have got up and left. But I just couldn't. I was just so scared that I couldn't.
Oh my goodness. Oof. But yeah, that's very horrible. That's very, 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 very horrible that she went through that with him, and she was so scared to that point. And, you know, as a man, you don't ever want to make a woman feel that way, regardless of who they are. This is just another example of you don't know who the people are really behind the camera. You only know what they put out, you know? That's very sad. That's very sad, though.
And so the third video, I was like, okay, at least it's an ASMR video. It'll be fine. I remember even texting my dad at that time. I didn't even want to text my fiance. I was texting him really basic stuff, making it seem like I was fine. I was like, what you doing? Yeah, everything's great. On to the next video. And I knew that anything I say about being uncomfortable or I don't want this, it didn't matter, because then he'd say, but you said. And I called my dad. And I was talking to him in Korean, and my dad was really concerned because we weren't really talking about anything serious, but I just wanted to sound as if I had gotten the worst news. And so I hung up with him, and you know, they both saw the conversation that I had. And Nick was like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, just a lot of really bad family stuff going on. I did this because I was so scared of him that I didn't even want to act differently around him. But at that moment, I was so shaken, I knew I couldn't be goofy right now. I couldn't be excited. And so I just needed a minute. Just try to shove down the need to cry and shove down all these hurt and scared and uncomfortable feelings that I had, because we still had a video to film. And so then we go to Zach's place and we're cooking. I kept trying to find a way out. I mentioned multiple times in a very joking way, like, you guys don't need me. It's ASMR. You guys don't need me. And he would say things like, Nick would say things like, Stephanie, we're all tired. So I felt like that was a signal to me, like, get it together. And I was like, oh, he knows something's wrong. And so then because of that, I started getting more and more cautious, and I was like trying to make jokes, and I was trying to be, there was like this hot Cheeto thing we were cooking, and I was like, it looks like a heart. Oh. And I just felt like if I didn't make him feel like everything was okay, he would just get more and more angry with me. And so we filmed the third video at the end of the ASMR, because it was a whispering one. Nick turned to me and he said, "Is there anything else you'd like to say?" And I just remember feeling so gutted. Like my heart had dropped to the ground because I thought it was going to be another interrogation.
What would you like to say?
Thank you for watching us eat these. And so I said, thanks for watching us eat this food. At this point, Nick is talking about, what are we gonna eat tomorrow? And at this point, I'm really just trying to go home without angering him. So I leave that area around 2 in the morning and I drive home. And when I am driving home, I'm experiencing a lot of emotions. Even after what happened in the video, he knew. There's no way he didn't know I was uncomfortable. Sure, maybe there was miscommunication before the video. Maybe he really thought that I wanted to spill my guts about Veronica all of a sudden. But in the video, there's no way Nick did not know that I was so uncomfortable for those 30 minutes because I was trying not to cry for those 30 minutes. And so I'd be like, okay, make sure you don't cry, but also make sure you have answers ready. What do I say? Even after the video, it seemed like he was still the one that was upset with me. I had no right to be upset. He was like, well, you're the one that said you wanted to talk about it. Then why would you tell me you wanted to talk about it? There was no, hey, are you okay? I know it got a little heated. There was none of that. But I also feel really weird. I almost feel like I did tell him. Did I? I don't think that I would, but what if I did? Or what if I'm not a good communicator? And what if I said, yeah, let's do it, but maybe I should have said, but without talking about Veronica and everything I told you in private? I started questioning myself. I started being like, why did you do that, Stephanie? Why would you ever make him feel like that? Kind of like an internal battle of half of me being like, why did you do that, Stephanie? That was your fault for misleading him. And then the other part of me was like, it doesn't matter. You were still uncomfortable in the video, and he did not care. And he was actually upset. I get home and I broke down. I mean, I just went straight into the bathtub. I just didn't want to even smell like the food we had just eaten. I did not want to talk to anyone. And my fiance he obviously knows something's wrong. And so he's sitting there and he's saying, babe, what happened? I was like, I don't know if something happened. I felt like I couldn't talk about it because what was there to talk about? It's not like he held me against my will to film these videos. I just can't explain this fear. And I just was so scared that I sounded crazy because you're a grown woman, you had a car, you could have left, you could say no. But I truly felt in that moment after everything that's happened that I couldn't. But how do you explain that to someone? Because they would just look at you and say, yes, you could. To be honest, what it felt like, and the only way that I've ever felt like this to any degree in my life prior to Nick was a couple years ago. And I vowed I would never find myself in a position like that ever again, where I felt like no really didn't have a lot of power. And I felt like it didn't matter if I was uncomfortable. That night I was really pushed into a really, really, really dark place that I never thought I would be in again. I had a breakdown, and it was unlike any other breakdown I had. It was one where I felt shame, guilt, because I did say I would talk about it. Didn't I? I don't know. He said I did. So I must have. And then this shame of, why did you even stay for the third video? Why did you even laugh with him? Why didn't you tell him, no, Nick, I don't want this. No. Why didn't you tell him no? After everything that's happened in the past, I told myself I would never, ever, ever feel like that again. I would never feel like that again. I just didn't want to feel like that ever again. It had been a really long night, and I went to sleep at around 7 a.m. I was in and out of sleep until around 2 p.m. At this point, I had already missed text messages from both of them separately, and I ended up calling Zach at 2:20. And when I called him, I didn't mention anything that happened yesterday. So I said, you know, I was up all night editing. I know I should have gone to sleep early, but I woke up, I'm not feeling too great. I think I have to cancel today because it was going to be another 3-person collab day. For some reason, the thought of texting Nick at this moment, because I had missed calls and missed text messages from him, gave me this like I started getting very short of breath. And so I washed my face, and around 3:20, I texted them, and I'm just gonna go through just the whole thread of text messages. And so I texted them at 3:29 p.m. and I said, hey guys, sorry I've been in and out of sleep all afternoon after staying up late after getting back. I don't think I'll be able to film any collabs today. I'm feeling really sick, and I realized I had a few sponsors due before year end that are really time sensitive. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys understand, but I'm really happy that we knocked some out yesterday. And I put my phone down, I put it on silent, and these are the next messages I got. You just now realized? Stephanie, I have been sitting here for 5 hours. When you were going in and out of sleep, you should have picked up the phone and given me a call, not leave me hanging. You didn't like it when Veronica did that to you. So no, I'm sorry, I do not understand. I texted him back, I am so sorry for making you feel that way. I sincerely apologize. I was so drained and slightly out of it this morning, and I'm so upset I didn't call you back earlier because I would never want you to feel like I don't respect your time. Again, I'm truly sorry. And out of respect for our developing friendship, I do want to be transparent and let you know I was uncomfortable with yesterday's video. I'm so sorry if I let you think or miscommunicated in any way that I wanted to talk about Veronica, but I truly did not. I mentioned that I wouldn't mind addressing you and me as it pertains to Shukbang, that neither of us had any hard feelings towards each other after what happened. And I did give you my perspective on what happened when we hung out, and I felt as if it was misrepresented in the video. I've mentioned to you many times that although Veronica and I aren't friends, and I am hurt or annoyed by some things that happened between us, I have absolutely no ill will towards her, and I feel some compassion for her situation since I've gotten to know her prior. Again, I understand this is your video, and I respect your feelings about the situation, but this is how I feel. Again, I'm sincerely so sorry for not getting back to you in time this morning, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay, and I am so sorry for this morning. He texted me back, then why did you tell me at your house that you wanted to address it on my channel? Also, why are you texting this to Zach? I messaged you privately. And I responded, I want to address the issue here since all three of us were in the video, and I also owe Zach an apology for this morning and not keeping him updated on the schedule. I'm so sorry for any inconveniences I've caused. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so sorry if I made you feel that way. I wanted to let you know because I didn't know that there was a gap of miscommunication and understanding between us till the middle of that video we were filming. I was okay with talking about Shukbang as it pertains to just you and me. Again, I apologize for any misunderstanding there could have been. I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay, and I'm so sorry again for this morning as well.
This is a lot. This is a crazy thing. Oh wow. I'm just speechless. I'm just sitting here listening. I don't know what else. I don't know what to say. I just. I'm watching this after seeing the video where, you know, he lost weight, blah, 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 blah. I'm 2 steps ahead. Okay. I don't think it's him being two steps ahead. He's just a deal hole. I don't know what else. I don't think it goes much deeper than that.
He responded with, you already talked to Zach this morning, but ignored me for 5 hours after that. Don't play games. I texted it back and I said, again, I'm so sorry if there was any miscommunication and if I made you feel that way. I wanted to take this time to clarify miscommunication about the video because I didn't know there was a gap in understanding till the middle of filming the video. And to apologize for this morning, I truly am so sorry. I know that I impacted your schedule today and I'm so sorry about that. He said, awesome. So which day would you like to reschedule for? And I responded, I know that you're in LA for only a couple more days and have a lot scheduled, and I'm so sorry for today. Sorry. I do have to get back to you since I do have approaching deadlines, and I know my fiance already had things planned for me and the doggos for the holidays. Again, I'm so sorry for today, and I hope you're able to enjoy the rest of your day. And he responded with, literally at any point in this conversation, you could have resumed with our videos planned for tonight. Please talk to me. Zach told me he wants to be left out. I reached out half a dozen times already. Please talk to me there. The text messages that he sent, please give me a call. I got your group message, but it would be nice to talk to you here. Can you give me a call, please? I haven't heard from you personally since yesterday, and I feel we need to chat. You only message things to the group chat, but not to me here. This is going to be my last time reaching out for the evening. I'm feeling hurt. Please talk to me, not through Zach. I also had 8 missed calls, some of them face.
What in the hell? How many times does she have to say it? Like, wow. And then he just, oh yeah, sure. When you want to reach, like, what are you on about? Oh my Lord. This is insane. If I was her husband, I'd be livid.
Times from Nick at the time, and later on after all of this, there was
I mean, anyone should be hearing this.
some Instagram posts and stories that were made that I didn't know, but they were made while this conversation was happening. And the first is his Instagram post that's still up right now as of filming this, and I'm gonna put it right here. And it says, I'm this effing close to making an exposing video. Should I? What the F is wrong with people? So rude, so self-serving, and inconsiderate. And then he posted a story with a black screen. Making some tea, you guys. You won't believe the audacity people have, but I have lots of receipts and audio clips. Every time he texted me or called me, I feel like and the audio clips that he posted on his story, audio clips, I got alarmed because I felt weird about that. I never consented to any audio clips. So that means these were illegally recorded. When and where and how. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know if this was just an empty threat to scare me even more, or if something happened that I don't know about. The only thing I can do is check what I have of security footage. And I went through all of Saturday when he was at my house. He was here for about 5-ish hours. And out of those 5 hours that he was here, I used the restroom once. And during that time that I slipped away to the restroom very, very quickly, the one time that I did, without letting me know what he was doing, he took multiple pictures inside my house. And then immediately he started looking around at the ceiling. I didn't have any cool light fixtures up there. I just don't know what else would be up there other than security cameras. Seeing that footage was shattering and so angering because after everything that he made me feel safe enough to tell him about, I told him about the one thing that I don't talk to anyone about anymore. And I don't know if I would be this alarmed if throughout our entire interactions, I feel like he had never had any good or even harmless intentions with everything that he did. The way that he did it during the 5 hours he was here, the minute that I slipped away to the restroom, you knew why I'm so paranoid. You know why I have such a hard time letting people into my home. It was a very violating feeling, and it was just something that I don't think I'll ever be able to understand. But again, I felt like, that was my fault. I felt like, yes, this is gross. Yes, this is creepy. But really, it's your problem, Stephanie, because you have this trauma that maybe not a lot of people have. And maybe even though Nick knows about your trauma and knows how crazy you are about home security, maybe he doesn't really understand. And then I came across this. And this is where I'm gonna get really angry for this part of the video, because there is no part of this video that I can stand by and say that I support Nick as a person, as someone who has a platform. This was a video that he took and consented to posting onto YouTube. It looked like he deleted it. I don't know if he ever addressed it. There is this channel called Shadebang who uploaded it, but with tons of edits. Those voice edits and those face edits are not my doing, but I'm just gonna insert some clips here because I think when someone shows me a pattern of predatory behavior, I'm not going to not listen. I'm not gonna ignore it.
Come on over, we'll hang out, we'll do our stuff, we can mukbang and then do stuff after. You know, it was not about just film with me, it was about like, we're gonna get it on. I literally blew dry my hair all over again. I put on so much perfume, I wasted it. I wasted $90 perfume. And I made sure I washed my extra good. And they eat all your food and they leave and you're like, I wasted my time and I scrubbed my for this experience. Because I was nice enough to say, I'll eat whatever you want to eat. Because I'm gonna get sucked. You know, like, okay, I'm gonna bend over because, I'm gonna give you what you want. Or I'm gonna get what I want. And nothing happened. Waiting to get my action. Well, no wonder, dude. You're a loser.
I am in New York for a very limited amount of time. My time is important. I would have rather spent it alone. This was supposed to enhance my trip, not make it more frustrating.
But you have to understand where I'm coming from, too.
Nah, fuck him. Hell no! Hell no! People just watch this? People watch him? People just... Ooh.
From two. I'm clearly signaling to you, I am ready. You are here for to be ready. I'm not going to just grab it because you will come back and it's going to be the little Me Too movement. Oh.
He's not here to be ready for you. Nobody is here to be ready for you. And it's not the little Me Too movement. How dare you discredit an entire movement that the sole purpose was giving people a voice who didn't have a voice. How dare you discredit the entire thing that saved so many people because you had a bad date in New York City. The little Me Too movement. Oh, no one's going to believe you. No one's going to believe you because it was inappropriate. And that's why you didn't grab it. You didn't grab it because of the Me Too movement. You didn't grab it because there was a hashtag on Twitter. You didn't grab it because that's sexual assault if he didn't want you to. So sorry. In 2017, I posted an Instagram picture of me sitting on like this red lifeguard thing. And I said, I was so scared to even talk about what happened that I captioned it something just to make me feel like I had a voice and I had strength. I posted, sometimes you gotta be your own damn lifeguard, even if your head is too heavy to float. Hashtag me too. That was over 2 years ago. That and YouTube, I can really say, feeling like I had a voice and feeling like I could say something and someone would listen to me, honestly saving me. I was so happy that there was a way for me and my story, or at least make other people feel like, hey, you're not weird for having this trauma. You're not weird that you live life differently now. And you want to discredit all of that because you had a bad date. I think that's disgusting but reckless for your audience. I think that's an incredibly reckless way to use your platform.
5 hours wasted. Nothing. 5 hours wasted. Nothing.
We're freezing out on the... What time? Hey Siri! What's the weather in New York City right now, please? It appears to be clear right now in New York. And what temperature of 50 degrees?
50 mother degrees. That's cold. That's 20 degrees from frozen. Did he cuddle me? Did he try to keep me warm? No, nothing. Oh my God, what a loser.
I'm sorry if the cold made you feel uncomfortable. One of the biggest reasons I was even scared to make this video was because I knew that it looked stupid. Everything sounds dramatic. And, oh really, you were scared? Why did you stay? And there was nothing. Like I felt like I don't know why. In any other situation, nobody ever needs a reason to feel scared or unsafe or uncomfortable, but I felt like I needed to have a reason. And I didn't, and so I stayed, and I tried to make him less angry and not mad at me. And I was scared he was gonna say, then why did you stay? if you were so scared.
I'm sorry if there's miscommunication. I'm really tired. I should have gone home earlier. I'm like, well, you certainly wasted my time too if you're saying you should have gone home earlier, meaning you didn't really value the time spent. Because if you had a good time, you don't regret staying long because you had a good time. Do you ever say to someone,
Someone that, oh, I should have gone home earlier if you were having a good time? No, that means he wasn't having a good time. Wasted my time, mother.
bye.
Bye. Maybe he wasn't having a good time because I wasn't having a good time, but I was too scared of you because you made me feel manipulated and fearful of what you would do. You made me scared of your anger, and so no, I wasn't having a good time. This wasn't an old clip from years ago. This was recent from his trip to New York City. I'm gonna leave the edited version that Shade Bang posted linked in the description. A lot has happened even after that. There's just been a lot of online bullying, and I'm someone that I've been through high school bullying. I talk about it a lot more on my other channel. He knows that I've talked about it with him before. It just was a gross abuse of power and an abuse of his platform and his voice. First, I felt, again, like more shame and embarrassment because a lot of the people that he tagged are people that he knew that I would say, oh my God, I've watched her since high school, or oh, I love her, you know, I did a collab with her. And these are people that I respected. I don't want to believe that they know the full story of what he's done. I also felt scared because now it felt like if I say something, it's not just going up against Nick, but look at all the friends he has. You know, who do I have? And I just felt like I couldn't say anything because it would be going up against all of these people.
I was telling them a story about someone who, something happened, someone did something to me, and there was just a lot that broke my spirits. Or I'm gonna get what I want. And I was telling them the story, and one of the inside joke from that story was in and out of sleep. And you don't understand, but then I told a few other YouTubers, I tagged them on Instagram, as well as my friends, and they all know. I was like, they know the story, and the major thing that they take away from that was the in and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep. And like,
I've just been in and out of sleep, and I don't know what's going on, but you know, I got things to do. I got things to do. Have you been in and out of sleep?
In and out of sleep. Oh my gosh. In and out of sleep right now.
They're like, what the That is the most obnoxious, bizarre thing they've ever heard. Like, what the In and out of sleep, we turned something that really bothered me into something that we could laugh about. When we were at the club, I'm telling you, I should have put this on YouTube. But also, I mean, it's just you have to laugh about things to get over things. That's just what I believe. Well, it's us four plus the gay couple, the other gay married couple, and the girl and the gay guy. So it was all like 12 of us. We're all sitting together, and we're like, in and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep.
in and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep. And then the people around us, in and out of sleep. In and out of sleep. And me and Honey started bawling with tears running down. We're like, in and out, in and out, in and out. Oh my God, it was so funny. And we're like, in and out of sleep. In and out of sleep. Oh my gosh.
And I know that in a lot of instances where bullying like this happens online, most of the times the bully will say, it's a joke. They can't take a joke. And sometimes I can see where they're coming from. A joke is funny, but what was the purpose of posting it onto his Instagram? I don't think that anyone who didn't understand the story would find it that funny. Oh, in and out of sleep, like maybe food coma. But I don't think he posted it because it was just a knee slapper. Like, ha, so funny. I want everyone to laugh because it's such a funny joke. I truly think that the only reason he posted it was for me to see it. And was for me to see that. And this is kind of when I learned what was happening to me. And that gave me a lot of clarity. Prior to this, I felt like everything was my fault. I had caused this, but there's actually a lot of people who feel this way. And it's an actual thing that manipulators use And the victim, they either don't notice it or they feel like they're at fault. One of the things that really stood out was the word audacity. You won't believe the audacity people have, but I have lots of receipts and audio clips. The definition of audacity means rude or disrespectful behavior. I know that Nick is really offended because I was being really rude and self-serving, and I had the audacity to do a lot of things, and I just want to apologize that I had the audacity to say no to you because I felt unsafe. I'm sorry that I had the audacity to open my doors and let you into my home, and then you took advantage of that. And I'm sorry that I had the audacity to make you feel like I changed my mind. But I think it's really important that we all know that a yes is not all-inclusive. Just because you say yes doesn't mean you're saying yes to everything for the rest of forever. That's incredibly predatory and manipulative. What was the purpose of all of this? To hurt Veronica? To hurt me? To get your dick sucked?
I'm gonna get sucked. You know?
This is my side of the story. There's nothing else more to say. I have nothing else more to say. I want to heal and I want to move on and I want to make my bunks. And I feel like a lot of this video was me addressing Nick because I know that he was watching. I want to talk to you guys for a second, which is what I normally do. And I just want to say thank you so much for giving me a platform and giving me a way to reach you guys and feel like I have a voice. I was already feeling really scared, and I can't imagine how much more frightened and how much more threatened I would feel if I didn't have a place to put this video, to be able to hear my unmanipulated side. And I just want to say thank you. I'll be back in a couple days. I'm gonna take a couple days off and, I don't know, play with my dogs, and I'll be back with regular mukbangs. I hope making this video not only clarified things for you guys, but also if any of you guys feel this way or have felt this way before, then I just want to say it's not your audacity. It's actually just your basic human fundamental rights to say no.
Well, I never knew about any of that stuff. I don't know about some of you guys. Yeah. I'm basically right in what I was saying in my other video for sure. The dude is crazy and creepy as hell. Two steps ahead in being an extra manipulative butthole. And I'm being very nice. Being very nice. But that's wild. That's really crazy. It's brave of her to put that out back then, to have felt all that she felt, for sure. But yeah, I wanted to watch just to learn more about what's really happened. What's the real story, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I didn't know that none of that stuff. Yeah. After seeing that, I don't care what he does. And I think I'm gonna stop making videos that are related to him, because then I'm just enabling him. Yeah. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. What are your thoughts on the video? What are your thoughts on her? Does this change anything of what maybe you have thought about Nikado? Nick Avocado SOB. I'm tired of the name. But yeah. Until next time, y'all.